Hello, my name is Jace, and for my presentation, I am doing the Chile Earthquake of 2010. So I'm just going to go over some of the basics of the Chile Earthquake of 2010. So the location of the earthquake was south central Chile. The date that the earthquake occurred was Saturday, February 27th, 2010. The approximate time that the earthquake occurred was at 3:34 a.m. Chile time. The magnitude of the earthquake was an 8.8 on the magnitude scale. The depth of the earthquake was 22 miles or 35 kilometers. The epicenter of the earthquake was 200 miles or 325 kilometers southwest of the Chile capital of Santiago. The death toll was 500 plus, with 50 missing, and of those 500 plus, 150 of them occurred because of a tsunami that followed the earthquake. So now I'm going to be going over what actually caused the Chile earthquake in 2010 and some other facts about it. So, what caused this earthquake is a 300 to 375 mile rupture in the thrust faulting of the South American plate as it collided with the Nazca plate. Now, water pressure between the two plates could have also been a catalyst. And some other facts about it is that the earthquake could be felt as far away as Brazil and Argentina, and hundreds of aftershocks followed, with some having magnitudes of 5.0. Now, aftershocks are smaller earthquakes that occur after a large earthquake in approximately the same region and area. Now, another interesting fact that occurred because of the earthquake is the city of Concepcion, Chile, moved westward 3 meters or 10 feet, and the country's capital of Santiago moved 25 centimeters or 10 inches westward. Now, I can actually show this movement with this map right here, the bottom map. This red line is actually showing the movement that occurred because of the earthquake, the movement of the city of Concepcion, Chile. It's labeled right here, but I'm not sure if you can see it. And it also gives us a number, which I will write here. It is in centimeters. It's hard to see since the picture is so small, but the number is 303.9 centimeters. And as we said, that is approximately 10 feet. Now, as for the map above, this is just showing us the plates that actually caused the earthquake. So I know it's small, but here is the Nazca plate, the one that I just highlighted, and the one that I'm highlighting now is a South American plate. And the green outline is the country Chile. Now, if you look back to the bottom map, or the first map that we looked at, you'll see this kind of beach ball looking circle right here. This is actually the focal mechanism. Now, because this picture is so small, I actually found another picture that is larger, and I will be showing it in the next slide and be going over what the focal mechanism is showing us about the slip and the fault, specifically for the earthquake in Chile in 2010. So now I'm going to talk about the lack of precautions that Chile took that could have actually lessened the consequences of this earthquake and could have made it not as devastating. And I'm also going to talk about the precautions that Chile did put in place after this earthquake occurred. Now, previously, Chile had seen the largest ever recorded earthquake in history. This was in 1960, and this earthquake had a magnitude of 9.5. This being said, this shows me that minimal warning systems or no warning systems at all were put in place, and that they didn't have anything in order to mitigate earthquakes, even though they had the largest earthquake ever recorded. Now, the warning systems that were in place in 2010, the minimal warning systems, were apparently ignored and dismissed. Now, this followed with some lawsuits after Chile was able to recuperate. Now, since the earthquake and because the region is located on a very active fault line, GPS sensors and seismological monitoring has since been put in. Precautions such as evacuating are now being practiced and reinforced. Now, on a side note, I just want to emphasize the focal mechanism that can be seen to the right. Now, this just shows that the slip was a thrust fault. So now I'm going to be talking about the tsunami that occurred after the earthquake. So the convergence of the tectonic plates that we talked about, the South American plate and the Nazca plate, is what caused the earthquake. But it also caused rocks in between those boundaries to shatter, which in return caused the seabed below to move upward. With this disruption in the movement of the seabed, the water above became displaced, creating large waves on the surface. Chile was hit by waves as high as 50 feet, 15 meters, traveling at a speed of 450 miles or 725 kilometers per hour. This caused significant damage to the already struggling country. So now I'm going to be talking about the damages that occurred, not only because of the Chile earthquake of 2010, but also because of the tsunami that followed the earthquake. So approximately 370,000 homes, 79 hospitals, and 4,013 schools were damaged because of the earthquake and the tsunami. The cost and damage was around 30 billion United States dollars or USD. A lot of the areas were left without major services like water, electricity, gas, things that people need to live. 2 million people were said to be affected by the natural disaster, not only in Chile, but also the other people and countries that felt it. It took around to the middle of 2014 for most of the damages to be repaired. That's a total of 4 years plus. So that is all I have about the Chile earthquake of 2010, and the slide that follows is my works cited. Thank you for watching the presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.